Today is Friday, July 17th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're on Bill's Story, page 7. Out of the 12 and 12, we will be reading Step 2, page 29, and of course read NA's Just for Today and Al-Anon's Courage to Change. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. Life is good over here. It is Friday. We made it. Just already, I hate saying this. I know I should be living one day at a time, but I'm already counting down the days until hockey season begins again. I just already have that. There's two seasons for me. There's hockey season and there's hockey off season, and I'm missing it so much. But the beautiful thing is that I get to do this every single day, and what an honor it is to be here just another day, to wake up sober, no shakes, no hangovers, just happy, joyous, and free. Man, that's something to smile about this morning, even if I'm hurting for hockey. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends, so if you recall from yesterday's reading in the Big Book, Bill's situation, his malady is getting worse. It has definitely gotten progressive here, and he's drinking every single day. But thankfully today there's going to be a little bit of hope. He's going to meet somebody that's going to really change his life. So we're on page 7. My brother-in-law's a physician. And through his kindness and that of my mother, I was placed in a nationally known hospital for the mental and physical rehabilitation of alcoholics. Under the so-called belladonna treatment, my brain cleared. Hydrotherapy and mild exercise helped much. Best of all, I met a kind doctor who explained that, though certainly selfish and foolish, I had been seriously ill, bodily and mentally. It relieved me somewhat to learn that in alcoholics, the will is amazingly weakened when it comes to combating liquor, though it often remains strong in other respects. My incredible behavior in the face of a desperate desire to stop was explained. Understanding myself now, I fared forth in high hope. For 3 or 4 months, the goose hung high. I went to town regularly and made a little money. Surely this was the answer, self-knowledge. But it was not. For the frightful day came when I drank once more. The curve of my declining moral and bodily health fell off like a ski jump. After a time, I returned to the hospital. This was the finish. The curtain, it seemed to me. My weary and despairing wife was informed that it would all end with heart failure during delirium tremens, or I develop a wet brain, perhaps within a year. She would soon have to give me over to the undertaker or the asylum. They didn't need to tell me. I knew, and I almost welcomed the idea. It was a devastating blow to my pride. I, who had thought so well of myself and my abilities, of my capacity to surmount obstacles, was cornered at last. Now, I was to plunge into the dark, joining that endless procession of sots who had gone on before. I thought of my poor wife. There had been much happiness after all. What I would not give to make amends. But that was over now. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sin. And for the last couple days, we've addressed the ones who won't believe or can't believe. It's been a conversation between a sponsor and sponsee. And now we're going to come to the intellectually self-sufficient man or woman. So this is the bottom of page 29. Now we come to another kind of problem. The intellectually self-sufficient man or woman. To these, many AAs can say, yes, we were like you. Far too smart for our own good. We loved to have people call us precocious. We used our education to blow ourselves up into prideful balloons, though we were careful to hide this from others. Secretly, we felt that we could float above the rest of the folks on our brainpower alone. Scientific progress told us that there was nothing man couldn't do. Knowledge was all-powerful. Intellect could conquer nature. Since we were brighter than most folks, so we thought, the spoils of the victory would be ours for the thinking. The god of intellect displaced the god of our fathers. But again, John Barleycorn had other ideas. We who had won so handsomely in a walk turned into all-time losers. We saw that we had to reconsider or die. We found many in AA who once thought as we did. They helped us to get down to our right size. By their example, they showed us that humility and intellect could be compatible, provided we placed humility first. When we began to do that, we received the gift of faith, a faith which works. This faith is for you too. NA just for today, July 17th. Using dreams. Do we fully accept the fact that every attempt to stop using or to control using failed? Basic text, page 19. The room is dark. Your forehead is bathed in cold sweat. Your heart is racing. You open your eyes sure that you've just blown your clean time. You've had a using dream. And it was just like being there. The people, the places, the routine, the sick feeling in your stomach, everything. It's taken a few moments to realize it was just a nightmare, that it actually didn't happen. Slowly you settle down and return to sleep. The next morning is the time that you examine what really happened the night before. You didn't use last night, but how close are you using today? Did you have any illusions about your ability to control your using? Do you know without a doubt what would happen once you took that first drug? What stands between you and a real, live relapse? How strong is your program? Your relationship with your sponsor, your home group, and your higher power? Using dreams don't necessarily indicate a hole in our program. For a drug addict, there's nothing more natural than to dream of using drugs. Some of us think that using dreams as gifts from our higher power, vividly reminding us of the insanity of active addiction and encouraging us to strengthen our recovery. Seen in that light, we can be grateful for using dreams. Frightening as they are, they can prove to be a great blessing if we use them to reinforce our recovery. Just for today, I will examine my personal program. I will talk with my sponsor about what I find and seek ways to strengthen my recovery. Courage to Change, July 17th. Two of those closest to me were newly recovering alcoholics. During the drinking years, I become so enmeshed with them and their self-destructive behavior that I lost sight of the idea that I could be happy even if they were depressed. I could live a serene life even if they went back to drinking. The turning point in my Al-Anon recovery came when someone said to me, "You'll have to learn to make it, whether the alcoholics do or not." From that day on, I tried to keep in mind that I had my own life and my own destiny. Once I began to separate my welfare from that of the alcoholics, I found it easier to detach from the decisions that they made about how and where and when and with whom to conduct their lives. Because my fate, my very life, was no longer tied directly to theirs. I was able to accept them for who they were and listen to their ideas and concerns without trying to exercise control. Thanks to Al-Anon, I can concentrate my energy where I do have some control over my own life. Today's reminder: my time is too precious to waste living in the future or worrying about something over which I have no power. I am building a wonderful life for myself today. As I continue to practice putting the focus on myself, it is a relief to see that I can let go of others' problems instead of trying to solve them. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and some beautiful stuff as always. I love page 7 because Bill, he's in bad shape. And right around the summer of 1933, so just before he gets sober for sure, but he's got a couple relapses left first. He ends up getting connected with Dr. Silkworth, who again had a theory, right, about this malady and everything, about the twofold disease of the mental obsession and the physical craving or allergy. So now that Bill knows this, and he's exercising, and he's been sober for a couple of days, he's like, okay, I've got self-knowledge. I know what the problem is. Hopefully, self-knowledge is enough. But sure enough, even though he knew what the problem was, he still can't get sober. So there's another crucial key for alcoholics in recovery, and that's coming up when he meets his friend Ebby here soon. But on the top of page 8, it sure sounds like he's about to take step 1, if he hasn't already done so. I, who had thought so well of myself and my abilities, of my capacity to surmount obstacles, was cornered at last. In other words, like I had so much pride, but I can't beat this. I don't know what to do. That sure sounds like step 1 to me. Powerful stuff right there. And thankfully, we're about to get to some hope for Bill. So stay tuned to that tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow when Ebby shows up. And then real quick, talking about the using dreams. I've been there. Oh, I've been there. I've had dreams where I've had relapsed after a few 24 hours of being sober. And the panic and guilt that I felt. Like, oh no, I can't believe I did that. What was I thinking? Then I'd wake up so relieved. I completely agree with what the NA reading says. You know, that is a powerful tool to have a using or a drinking dream. If I'm clearly feeling remorse and regret about it. But if I was like, you know what? Oh man, I wish I could dream a little longer. No, that's another situation. But no, it just goes back to what my sponsor would always tell me, to always remember how bad it was. I don't necessarily have to attach guilt and shame to it and replay it over and over again that way. But just remember how bad the disease really was toward the end. And that usually, and then that the old classic line, play the tape all the way through. If I were to romance a drink, remember the pain that I had caused, the pain I was in, and the pain I had caused to others. And play the tape all the way through. I'm not going to just have one drink. No, what's going to happen is eventually I'm going to drink a bunch. And I'm going to make terrible, selfish, destructive decisions while drinking. And I'm going to hurt the people I love the most. I can't go back there. So I think these using dreams and these drinking dreams, they're a blessing. Because they're a reminder of how bad it was and how good sobriety is now. But anyways, my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you all have a good one. Please know, as always, I don't speak on behalf of NA, AA, Al-Anon, any other sect or denomination. I am just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery. Honored to be here another day. If you ever want to send us an email, bigbookdaily@gmail.com is the email, and our voicemail is 865-309-5486. I would love to hear from you, your experience, strength, and hope, and pass it on to anybody else who might be listening. But my friends, if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.